Greetings and welcome to another edition of Community Chess TV. I'm Felix Milan, your host. I'm very happy to have today as my guest the president of PEG Broadcast Services, Inc. We're doing business as Coos Community Media Center, Don Van Dyke. Hi, Don.
Well, thank you, Felix. Thank you for having me.
It's a pleasure. Oh, Don, we've got a new name. And you just came back from a convention.
Yes.
And I was hoping that you could enlighten the viewers and myself of where public access television is heading now.
I was hoping you would ask. So let me back up for benefit of our audience. PEG Broadcasting Services, Inc. is the official name of our nonprofit. The only problem is nobody has ever heard of us. If I say I'm with Channel 14, they say, oh yeah, I know you. And that doesn't work well anymore because we now have Channel 73, and in addition to Channel 98, which is where this is primarily going to be shown. So people are confused out there. Secondly, there's confusion as to PBS, Public Broadcasting Services. And the big difference between them and us is they get federal money. We don't.
That's a big difference.
Okay. So we decided to rebrand ourselves. And we've just come up with this. This isn't the final version. The color red didn't come out right on the printer. It should be darker, more regal-like a red. As Coos Community Media Center. This is the name that's being adopted around the country, as I found out recently going to the national convention in Portland of the Alliance for Community Media. So as soon as the finalization of the colors is done, we're going to print cards and labels, signage like on the cars when we go to City Hall or someplace for a remote shot. And this building that we're in here, which we've been calling Studio Number 1, we're having a sign put up, Coos Community Media Center.
That's great, and hopefully that'll get more recognition for the services available here. You've also mentioned that you would like to get more people involved with community TV as presenters, as
well,
just behind the camera and in front. How would somebody go about doing that?
Felix, you're a perfect example of somebody, a member of the community, who has something to say. You've chosen to specialize with volunteer groups or nonprofit organizations who can't afford the money to do PSAs or advertising on commercial television or radio. So the whole idea of public access is for citizens like yourself to come forward and either put on a show, learn how to run the equipment, and if you were checked out with knowledge on how to use our equipment, we would give you a bag and send you out to do your project, whether it's a fair or something at the county park or whatever you decide to do. You bring it back, we put it up on cable television. We have an agreement with, I just lost it, Charter Communications and ComSpan. Everybody knows Charter, the dominant cable company here. And ComSpan has service in Bandon, Coquille, Myrtle Point, and Reedsport, which actually puts us outside of Coos County for the first time. Then there's people who might want to do this as a career. We have one man in particular who took a couple of classes at Marshfield High School, one in being a videographer, and the other one being an editor. I just spoke to him yesterday. He's come back from doing a high-definition feature-length documentary as director of photography. This is his life's ambition. His vocation began with simple video camera work.
And you must be very proud to have had a hand in that and helping that young man find a field that not only does he enjoy working in, but that could be very rewarding as well in other ways.
Exactly. And we're looking for more Joels. There's got to be somebody out there who wants to do this.
So you mentioned a little bit about funding, and I know that funding is a big issue. How does Channel 98, Channel 14, the Coos Community Media Center, how will it maintain its services to the community with funding?
Well, we run it as one corporation, and our principal funding comes from subscribers. They're all government agencies, and we record their public meetings for a fee and put it on cable. So things like city council meetings, the county commissioners, the regional airport board, the port of Coos Bay, customers like that. School boards, we have North Bend and Coos Bay school boards. They pay the fees, and that keeps everything going. What you see here was acquired through grants. We have enough money to take care of ourselves, but not to expand. So we got this building, we rent it, we don't own it. We put up those trusses, the lights, the new cameras, so we have state of the art. We use Canon high definition cameras now.
Oh, that's great. And I'm sure that if people wanted to donate not only their time, but they can also donate tax-deductible contributions.
Exactly. If you were making a contribution, we would give you a letter, and this would be tax-deductible on your income tax form next year. And there's no limit to that, folks, as much as you would like. And someone like yourself, you're donating your time. And you probably know when we're working with grants, they like to know in-kind contributions from folks like you. So I want to thank you. And I want to thank our staff here that's making this whole thing possible today.
And that's so important for people to volunteer their time and volunteer their services, but also to donate and keep the money here in our community. Don, I'm very interested in hearing about how people can volunteer, and in addition to donating their time or donating money, if somebody wanted to volunteer and do a show similar to mine or learn the equipment, what's the first step they would have to do?
They would have to get in touch with somebody. So let me back up a moment and say our biggest challenge at the moment is volunteers. There's so much more that we could do. For example, the Star of Hope is having some sort of a festival. We don't have anybody scheduled to do it. We did the July